Good to see you as always, man. One and only Michael Blackson in the house. Let me ask you this, man. I was watching some of your old, Nick Cannon Wildin' Out, man. The funniest line I heard was that I think you were saying something. You were clowning Nick, and you said something to the effect of, "This dude's pull-out game is weaker than Joe Biden's immune system." What? Do you think of that on the fly? Or do you kind of just come up with it beforehand? Like, how do you guys come off and be able to shoot jokes?
So, when you do Wildin' Out, most of the stuff is all top of your head, especially that last part where we just go at it at everybody. I mean, you do kind of like get to know maybe an hour or two before you film who's on the other side. That'll get kind of like give you a chance to put something together in your head about that particular person. But sometimes you might get up there and you just have to just come up the rip and do something crazy. And I'm pretty good with just coming up with stuff from the top of my head pretty quick and fast. I'm a comedian. I ad-lib a lot on stage and in anywhere. So it's a lot of fun, man. Wild Night is a great show, and shout out to Nick Cannon.
Yeah, you're definitely a comedian. I want to ask you, too, because there are a lot of different – now we have different variations of comedians. You have those that do stand-up, but you also have those that do on social media. Do you have an issue with any comedians that just stick to social media versus just doing the stand-up or going the comedy club route?
I mean, this is the era we're in, man. You can't go, doing our eras, doing my era and the Earthquake era and the Cat Wins and Lavelle Crawford and the Mike Epps era. We went through open mic night. We worked out material. We had no audience. We had to audition, do competitions, and then get ourselves on Comic View, and then from there, hopefully make it to Def Jam and the rest of that stuff. But now it's a new era where they got social media where you could build your own audience by making little funny clips here and there, and then you use that to grow your audience. And then from there, you could, once you have an audience, you could find a way to entertain them. So now you're doing these skits, and then you got guys like DC Young Fly, Desi Bangs, B. Simone, those who went on from social media and learned to become comedians, and shout out to them, but they learn early that it's not an easy stage. Them 10, 30-second clips doesn't compare to a live audience of people that can spend $50, $70, $80 to come and laugh. So they learn quick, and then they find a way to get better and keep going and keep trying and get better. But they have an easier route, unlike we did. We had no audience.
Well, I saw an organization named Drewski #1 Comedian. How did you take that? Did it bother you? Did you pay attention to it at all?
No, it didn't bother me. That's the internet. Those younger guys are more hype on the internet. That's their place. What I mean? My place is that stage. And none of those guys get with me when it comes to the throw us in front of 10,000 people. You go do your little 30 minutes, I'll do 30 minutes, and we'll see who's really the funniest man in the world. So it's a difference. Internet comedy being funny, we're not going to compare it to stand-up. If you try and go who's the funniest man of the year with stand-up, we won't go with those guys. Those guys are more for the internet. Internet funnies. That's what it meant. It meant internet funny. It didn't mean funny overall. Because, funny overall, I think that's more like comedians on stage,
That stage, taking the old school with that stage presence and then evolving. What's next with Michael Blackson, man? Because you always got your hand on something, man.
Yeah, man. My biggest accomplishment was accomplished about a year and a half ago. Actually had a 1-year anniversary. I built a free school in my village. Okay. It was time to give back. America has blessed me. And, shout out to Hidden Films. I've done 2 work with them. Those guys, we did Meet the Blacks 1 and 2. All those contributed to me saving up some money and went back to my village and built a free school for the kids. And now I got to keep the school going. So feel free to go to michaelblacksonfoundation.org, donate $1, $2, and help put a kid in school. I pay for everything. I told the kids the only thing they have to pay for is pay attention to the teacher. But I'm on tour. I have a pilot on BT Plus. Shout out to Tyler Perry for giving me an opportunity. It's a 4-episode pilot called The Michael Blackson Show. I play a teacher in a rough neighborhood in Chicago. Funny show. So I'm hoping we'll be shooting more 100 episodes sooner or later. I also got a couple of movies one main movie that I had Hidden Film rewrite for me so we could do it right. And hopefully I'll be looking forward to shooting that before the year is out.
Lastly, Ice Cube came out and said he's going to do a Last Friday. It's actually going to be in motion. You believe that's gonna happen? And if so, who do you feel should be in it besides we know the cast of characters that should be?
You know what? If Ice Cube say it's happening, it's happening. Because when he had funny feeling about it, he told us there's something going on right now. These guys are holding me back. So hopefully he did get some good news, and let's make it happen. And he actually discussed this with me and probably a few of the other cast members before everybody was passing away. And all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. We got held back, and then we lost so many cast members. But if he says it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be a great movie. And, he's a great writer. He's a great thinker. So he's gonna find a way to make it work with what we have. And who should be in it? There's not an original cast. There's so many guys that was in the original movie that I don't know if you have room for new people. You talking about you still have Epps, of course. You got you got Ricky Smiley, you got Michael Blackson, you got Cat Williams, you got
You gotta bring back Chris Tucker.
well, that'd be great. That's the ultimate dream is to bring Chris back. You just gotta figure out what would he like. He'll figure out where he'll fit in there, find that best role to surround it around Chris. I think I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great movie. Chris got to come back, and I gotta bring Chris back. I think Chris has to want to do it. I'm sure Ice Cube will welcome Chris.
Oh yeah, that'd be great, man. That'd be the icing on the cake to me.